Good afternoon, I'm Pascal Joncour, I'm the partner at Convergence Partners. We're a venture capital fund specifically looking at brain and mental health. And I'm here at the Brain House in Davos, and I'm joined by Guillaume Blivet. Welcome, Guillaume, and I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hello, Pascal. I'm Guillaume, co-founder of Regenlife, a medtech and neurotech company, which develop a medical device to treat neurological conditions like Alzheimer's disease. And actually we do it by harnessing the therapeutic power of light. So it's a neurostimulation solution using light, near-infrared light, by targeting both the brain and the gut.
Thank you. That's very specific already. Welcome to Davos, Guillaume. I look forward to asking you more in detailed questions. Obviously, you took part into the Mental Health Day yesterday at the Social Innovation House. Today we're at the Brain House, focusing specifically on Alzheimer. Just wanted maybe to get your impression about the ecosystem that you've been entering here in Davos. What are your impressions?
I'm really excited because I feel that there are more and more stakeholders who are interested in and preoccupied by mental and brain health. So policymakers, investors, entrepreneurs, social innovators, and I think the ecosystem is building a global approach of brain and mental health with biological solution which have an action on biology, but also psychology, and at the social scale as well. So for that, it's a human-centered approach using all the technologies we have. So, and mental and brain health is a big challenge. So we need to be together to discuss with all the people who are leading the field.
I agree. We are here in Davos and at the Brain House and really bringing all this ecosystem to life. And I think, as you said, looking at new modalities, looking at new ways to tackle this huge need of finding a cure for Alzheimer. Maybe let's take that as an initial angle. So how did that idea to take a totally different approach to look at a disease so complex as Alzheimer, how did that happen? Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the history of the initiation of Regenlife.
Yeah, of course, at first using light to target the brain and gut seemed to be crazy, and that's why the scientific approach is so important, so crucial. And I've discovered the phototherapies with the dermatologists. I was working on a mission, and when the dermatologist told me about the therapeutic effects they were observing on patients to treat skin diseases, I was impressed about their feedbacks, and I wanted to learn more about the science because I was feeling that they could have a lot of medical applications. And by having a look on the scientific state of the art, I've seen that there was some possibilities to do something in the field of neuroscience. And because I have a public health background, I was feeling that if that kind of technology can have a therapeutic effect on biological tissue, and it can be diffused into the brain, and if we can develop a non-invasive approach to make the near-infrared photons into the brain, we could develop a therapeutic approach to treat Alzheimer's disease and maybe more all kind of public health issues. So we have started our preclinical development to evaluate the technology on mice model of Alzheimer's, and we have observed that by using this technology to stimulate both the brain and gut, actually there was an efficacy which was more important by targeting both the brain and gut in comparison to brain-only or gut-only stimulation. And on short-term and long-term memory, neuroinflammation biomarkers, Alzheimer's-related biomarkers. So after that, we have started a clinical development, but we have also explored this approach in other preclinical models like depression and multiple sclerosis. So it shows that this impact on the brain and the gut by reducing neuroinflammation could enable a broader and a wider approach for treating several kinds of neurological conditions, because what is common, it is neuroinflammation and the involvement of the gut-brain axis in their development, because the brain and gut are interconnected, linked with nerves and biochemical pathways.
Thank you. This is fascinating because you also describe the journey of a technology that keeps on pushing the adoption into the healthcare system. And I know about one specific aspect that you already have really pushed the adoption towards almost pre-market readiness, and that's in the area of concussion. And I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more, because that's a fascinating area where your technology has breakthrough results.
Yes, we have firstly worked with a research center on spinal cord injuries, and we have observed that if the treatment was applied very early after the injury, the benefits were better and the recovery was also better. So we have decided to start a clinical trial on sports-related concussion. And in this study, we have treated 50 sport people having concussion within. We have treated them within 72 hours after their concussion, and we are going to publish the full results soon. And we are also preparing the CE marking to prepare for market launch in EU. At the beginning of next year, in 2026.
That's very exciting.
It is.
And I wondered if you could tell us a little bit more about the protocol. What does it look like? Say a player has been identified on the pitch with a potential concussion happened. What happens next?
Yeah, actually, in this treatment protocol, the patients were included because during a match they have a concussion. And there was a KO or a fall or a shock, and the physician has detected that there was a suspicion of concussion, and then it has been diagnosed. And after that, the patients, the sports people were included in the clinical trial, and they had a first treatment session less than 72 hours after the concussion, and a second treatment session 1 week after, and there was a follow-up 45 days after the second treatment session.
So that shows tremendous results, and really I look forward to seeing that technology in that very space finding its adoption across the world, because that's a huge unmet need. And I think probably as the journey of development of your company, that's really important to know that there is already some revenues to market coming in before you can then showcase the results in your clinical trials for Alzheimer's.
Absolutely. This is our first pilot clinical trial, and in this trial we have also demonstrated the safety of the technology, and it will enable us to commercialize it in Europe, in EU. And it also opens new avenues to understand more the potential of this technology, and maybe to start other developments on concussion, to understand more how we can be. We could also treat in the future chronic concussion, because there are some sport people who have repeated concussion. So we can find also other applications around traumatic brain injuries, because the concussion is the mild traumatic brain injury, but there are also moderate to severe brain injuries. So this technology could be also useful for that.
Thank you, Guillaume. This has been a really fascinating conversation. I wish you all the best for the future development, and for sure we'll be very closely watching and working towards supporting that development curve. So all the best, and enjoy the rest of your time in Davos. Thank you.
Thank you, Pascal. It was a pleasure.